Hello everyone, this is Rakir and today I'm here with some World of Warships gameplay again, and this time we're gonna be looking at the Minsk. As you may know, a big World of Warships patch dropped yesterday which overhauled the Russian destroyer line. Some ships were, they shuffled it between tiers and some new ships were added, and Minsk is one of those new ships. It replaced the Kiev, and Kiev is now a tier 8 destroyer. I love the Russian destroyers, so I had to check out the Minsk and see whether it's a worthy replacement for the Kiev. Um, at a first glance, it looks very similar to the Leningrad, but I don't have the Leningrad and I don't know much about its stats. Uh, so it looks like a Gnevny to me, with 5 different turrets instead of dual 130mm turrets like the Kiev. So the first difference is you don't have 6 guns and 3 turrets, you only have 5 guns and 5 turrets. The other change is the turret traverse. The Kiev has 18 seconds of turret traverse for 180 degrees, but the Minsk does the same thing in 30 seconds. So that's actually quite a lot. That's almost like battleship level of turret traverse. So when I first saw the stats, uh, I was really worried about its viability because in a gunboat with horrible turret traverse, you're not gonna do well. Um, the other change is the HP. The old Kiev was heavily nerfed in Tier 7. It proved too strong for Tier 7, so they nerfed it a couple of times. And one of the nerfs slashed a big chunk of its HP, so it went down from 15,000 plus to 12,500 or so. And if you've seen it or if you played with it, the Kiev is already a pretty big ship, so that change made the Kiev very squishy and very unpleasant to play. Um, they didn't touch its range, thank God. It was still effective as a harasser, but it just couldn't take hits, and that made it quite hard to play. That was it needed a nerf, but I think it went overboard and killed the whole enjoyment of the ship. With the Minsk, they are finally fixing that problem, and Minsk indeed has quite a lot of HP. It comes with 15,100 HP in its upgraded form when you get the second hull. And I am also running Survivability Expert on this, so my total HP is 17,550, which is quite a lot for tier 7, which makes the ship very tanky indeed. As I said, the biggest downside of this ship compared to the old Kiev is its turret traverse. So in order to fix that, you need expert marksman to increase the turret traverse, which brings the turret traverse to 21 seconds or 180 degrees. So it comes to the Kiev levels, but you need to invest 2 skill points in that, and the Kiev doesn't. So you have to keep that in mind as well. Otherwise, the Minsk is slightly smaller than the Kiev as well, while being tankier, so it's actually more durable than a Kiev, which is very good news. If you remember, the Kiev has a massive forehead, whereas the Minsk has much less of a forehead and has less uh, superstructure volume in overall, which makes it quite hard to hit for the enemies. And it really makes itself felt. So that's a really nice change from the Kiev. Other than that, it retains the awesome speed of the Kiev. It's actually half a knot faster than the Kiev in its stock form, which makes this ship the fastest ship in this game, along with the Khabarovsk. And when you activate the speed boost, you will do about 48.8 knots, almost 49 knots, which makes you hit very hard to hit. And this ship retains the Kiev's 14.7 kilometer gun range as well. So you have that awesome gun range, and when you combine both your speed and the range, you become an untouchable and unkillable speed devil. Now using the Minsk, the first thing I noticed that it's a bit more nimble than the Kiev. It turns slightly better. and the rudder traverse is quite nice. Uh, but the one thing I noticed with the Minsk's guns is the convergence is not as good as the Kiev's. I don't know if it's because of the 5-gun layout um, compared to the Kiev's 3-turret layout, but it definitely makes its presence known, especially when you're shooting at targets at range, at near your maximum range. You will see a lot of the shells will just go um, around the target and not where you're pointing at, and it can be really annoying. But other than that, the guns feel punchier, especially when you have juicy opponents with very little armor, like Russian cruisers or Royal Navy cruisers, and not even mentioning destroyers. Uh, it They feel punchy, but obviously it's not gonna be as good a knife fighter as the Kiev because of the turret traverse. Right now I'm playing on the map Trident, if you don't know the map, which is it's an interesting map. On this map, it's more about controlling your angles and visibility rather than just rapid movement, like on other higher tier maps. And that's exactly what I've been doing in the Minsk. I'm not moving around much, uh, but rather I am abusing smoke and the terrain to get shots into enemies. But now I decide to move up. I see a Colorado. I want to test my guns on the Colorado. It's a notoriously squishy ship. It has a lot of superstructure, so it takes a lot of damage from HE. And as you can see, I'm pounding him, but I'm not quite getting those superstructure shots. And interestingly, because there are 3 friendly battleships behind me, he's not actually aiming at me, even though I'm doing quite good damage to him. So my speed boost is up. I immediately activate it, and we are sure to be running at 48 knots, which feels just so much, which is so much fun. New Mexico tries to hit me, but he doesn't quite get it because it's so hard to lead a Russian destroyer running at 48 knots, especially at these tiers. People just don't know how to aim and properly lead them. As you can see, this is where the aiming gets very annoying because look at the dispersion. The dispersion is so random, and sometimes it becomes huge that a battleship like Colorado manages to squeeze in between the gaps. So it's a bit annoying. So I'm moving up on the flank. The Colorado dies to the kamikazes torpedoes, and the New Mexico is left behind. So he's my primary target now. It's also a very squishy ship, like the Colorado. Let's see what kind of damage we'll get. Well, from 2 hits we get 1200. Set him on fire, now he's turning away. Looks like he doesn't want to fight us at all. It's a shame because of the sheer number of guns he has. If he manages to hit me with a couple, it's gonna do a lot of damage. But looks like he just doesn't want to fight and he's just running away. And you can see how quickly this thing moves around the map. When you're so fast, you can be on the one side of the map a few seconds ago and then just activate speed boost and go to the other side. It just feels so flexible and amazing. But as you can see, this is especially the part where I was so annoyed about the gun dispersion. I'm just not quite hitting him. I am hitting him, but most of them are shattering. I'm not getting any fires. I'm barely hitting him. It's very annoying, and this is definitely not my experience in the Kiev. So the gun's configuration is definitely inferior, but then again, I think it's a bit compensated by the extra damage they gave to the Russian destroyer guns. So I'm still working on the New Mexico and it's just not dying. I'm not doing much damage to him other than the fire I have on him. So I decide to stop shooting at him and go to the left flank where I can see the enemy is concentrated on. And he's still ignoring me, which is very puzzling to me because when you have a chance to damage enemy destroyers, you should take it. Because every little bit hurts the enemy destroyers. I'm hoping for more fires here, but I just don't get them. And I think I'm pretty much done with him right now. I just can't hurt him. I can see the York coming in to help him. But I don't really care about the York at this point. I am just trying to get some fires on the New Mexico and I get one. And he immediately repairs it. And now I know that I'm not gonna get any more fires on him for the next 30 seconds. By the way, I am not using AFD on this ship yet because I moved my captain to my Kiev. So this is without AFD and the range is about 12.3 kilometers. And which is pretty decent for a stock gun configuration. So I got a bit careless here and I scraped the island and the York immediately seizes the opportunity to shoot at me. Oh, sorry, it was New Mexico. So that's about it for our adventures with the New Mexico. I kind of nope out of there. I'm a bit pissed off that I couldn't do much to him. But now we have a Congo in front of us. And again, I'm not hurting him much. He's just too heavily armored and he doesn't have much superstructure and looks like he's saturated as well. So I'm doing half damage to him. Now on the map I could see there was a Minsk around there. Just wondering where he went. Taking a pot shot at the York while I move towards the König. I know he won't be able to shoot back at me, so that was a good opportunity to get more damage. Now we have a König and a Fuso. I immediately pop my smoke because I know the König is very accurate and I don't want to eat 8 shells to my face, very accurate shells to my face, so I immediately pop my smoke. And look at the surprise, we have a Minsk coming in here. Looks like he's charging. I predict that he will turn left, so I shoot my torps towards the left side. And he is indeed turning left. And those torps are very fast. I doubt he will be able to dodge them. But he does, but my fire kills him anyway. And you saw just how much damage my guns did do on unarmored opponents. I was getting about 2k per salvo on him, which was amazing. But against battleships and such, it's not that much damage. We set the König on fire. He's running away towards the friendlies. And this is still looking like a loss. I mean, it looked like a loss 10 minutes ago and it's still looking like a loss. But there's still a chance that we will get this because I think our positioning is better and their ships, their positioning is not the stellar, their ships are hurt. And I'm definitely feeling like we can win, so I'm trying my hardest. Koenig is very low. He's trying to get the last shots in him. But it's very painful. As you see, the guns are quite inaccurate. And most of them are just shattering on the deck or the side armor, the belt armor. Oh, I see the Fuso, but he's turning away as well. He's gonna be out of range soon. And the York comes into view. And that's a very juicy opponent because he doesn't have much armor at all, other than his belt. Yeah, we do a 2500 damage salvo to him. That's just amazing from a destroyer. And the Fubuki's coming closer. Trying to get my lead on him. I can't quite get it. Oh my god, the dispersion. Now, managed to get a nice salvo on him. 2k. Another 2k. Things are looking very grim for the Fubuki. And we get him, and looks like we suddenly have the advantage. We managed to shoot some torps, but as you can see, this ship is quite maneuverable, and I'm not running the rudder mod. I instead opted for the acceleration mod instead. And it's very slim, so dodging that wasn't really hard. Now the York is in view. I'm not really afraid of him. I have full HP. He is about to die. We just need to pray to the RNG gods to give us good dispersion. We get our Confederates. And at this point I was thinking, wow, look at my HP, and they all ignored me. If I was in a Kiev, I think I would have received more incoming fire. I think people are underestimating the Minsk, or they probably don't know what it's capable of, which is a big mistake. Now we have a new Max and a Fuso, and I have 4 kills, and I really want that Kraken for the flags, so I'll try to get that last kill. Just wondering about where the New Mexico is going. Looks like he's turning left, so I decide to keep my guns on this side, and I see a Fuso with 600 health. Can I get it? I switched to AP just to see if I can get some penetration damage on him, but nope. I switch back to HE. He only has 600 HP left, and oh my god, no damage salvo. I just can't hit him. He has so little superstructure. This looks better, but I only get 300 damage. And again, 314 damage. He has 18 HP left and repairs the fire immediately. Please give me the kill. Thank you. So looking at the stats, I have 92,000 damage. That's pure gun damage and fire damage. There is no torpedo usage. And I hit the enemies 337 times, which was a lot of work. But yeah, we did well, 5 kills. And a good amount of XP as well. Of course, I have the first place in my team, and the Minsk feels really good. It didn't feel underpowered to me, like I feared. And I will be definitely keeping this. I'm playing with it more. Perhaps I will try it in ranked as well. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.